One of the pivotal moments for me was Viola Desmond getting her pardon and focusing on her behavior as a human rights activist was really significant in the province.
The Tina Marie Forbes case from the late 1970s involved a little girl who fought for the right to play hockey. So she filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission against the Yarmouth Minor Hockey Association, and it was found that they had discriminated against her based on her gender, and now all little girls in this province have the right to play hockey.
And another one that comes to mind, of course, is the Donald Marshall matter. The findings had completely turned the justice system upside down in terms of systemic discrimination.
It was a big moment in society because it brought to light the undercurrents that were moving in the wrong direction.
Another pivotal moment for me was the inclusion of transgender protection in our Human Rights Act.
I think a more recent milestone was the passage of comprehensive accessibility legislation right here in Nova Scotia. It not only brought the province into line with the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, but it has set us up to be a completely accessible province by the year 2030.
We don't want to talk about issues. We do not recognize our history, and we want to move on. But the history is not being dealt with. And the injustices created by that history, by that legacy, are still current.
So going forward, we should be taking all of the mistakes of the past and of the present and turning it into something positive. Where have we failed? What can we do better?
It is important to recognize the dangers of unchecked prejudice and the importance of civic engagement to build a more respectful Nova Scotia.
I'm hopeful that in time, all of us working together to wipe out discrimination and racism and sexism. And that takes courage for people to actually admit their own feelings, how they may respond to people, how they would act towards people. And I think there's a lot of self-examination that needs to happen and admission that we did things wrong in the past and we're still doing some things wrong in the present. We have to admit this and then say, how do we make it better? And it's not about guilt or blame, it's about moving forward in a positive way. And the only way we can do that is by doing it together.
We have to put a lot of emphasis on education. We have to put a lot of emphasis on creating partnerships.
Well, here at the Human Rights Commission, we have been modernizing to prepare us to protect and promote human rights going into the future. We have built a virtual classroom. We are the first commission in Canada to provide free online training to the public in the area of human rights. We are the only human rights commission in Canada that has been using restorative approaches to human rights dispute resolution. We have cleared our backlogs, and commissions across the country and internationally are paying attention.
With respect to human rights, looking forward to the next 50 years, I'm hopeful that more people will be engaged in the change process, that more people will be active in the fight for rights and the protection of rights for everyone.
I'm hopeful that my two young grandchildren, who are beautiful young girls who are part Caucasian and part Latino, can live in a province where they don't experience discrimination.
Respect for human rights is critical to our prosperity and our well-being, and this is why it should concern every Nova Scotian.
Because when we're all included, we get better economically, we get better socially. So I think that's very important for us to think that way.
It is my hope that we will never lower our dreams to match our reality, but that we will raise our reality to match our dreams.